Who dares defile this ancient land? Who?
Time's up.
Who?
Let's do this.
Who?
Ah, the great outdoors, great outdoors, great outdoors. Ah, the great outdoors.
I can wait and fish all day. Fish all day. Fish all day.
Great outdoors, great outdoors.
Fish all day. Fish all day.
The thrill of the hunt. Let's do this.
Snakes. It has to be snakes.
Why is it always gotta be snakes? What is up, THL fam? Thank you so much for joining us here on this Thirsty Thursday, and welcome to Tavern Talk, THL's first and only official recap show. We have a great lineup tonight, man. So much content to get through tonight. I'm pumped. I've been pumped all week. I hope you guys are too. We have with us an awesome guest tonight in Mr. Hertz Donut. We have a few rules. We stuck to 4 this week because, well, I have a feeling that they're gonna happen quite often. You can read them for yourself. We please ask, as always, 21 and over. Drink responsibly. Don't make your Friday too foggy. And without any further ado, man, we gotta get right into it tonight because we have so much to talk about. With us, as always, I have the one and only bearded beauty, Mr. Slimch. How are you this evening?
Happy Feast of Winter Veil.
Oh, damn it. We're drinking already. It's going to be one of those
good.
nights, guys.
I'm good, as always. Thirsty Thursday, best Thursday.
Best Thursday there is. Mr. Cassidy, how we feeling?
Happy Feast of Winter Veil.
That's
Done
a
in true
thrall.
Tyrion style.
No, that was Thrall, man.
Whatever.
thrall.
Living the aggro shaman life.
The aggro shaman life, indeed. And as you guys can see, we have the one and only Mr. Hertz Donut. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great, guys. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, man, we're happy to have you here. Especially, because you know how fond I am of Team Archon Storm. And, and all those
What would you
great-
say is the most outstanding feature of Archon Storm?
I would
Your
have to say it's their PR.
There
It's
you
definitely
go.
their PR.
God. It's too high.
It's just so high.
It's outrageous, man. It's almost like above a legal limit. It's almost like they're cheating. I don't know.
I gotta say though, I'm surprised that more teams aren't. You'd think that it'd be half and half if everyone starts at 1850. So I feel like there are some teams that
Oh, we
just did
don't.
not draft aggressively enough.
Well, not everyone can win as much as you guys.
Sometimes it's more important to build a good team chemistry.
Like the frat of Team Rank 5.
Yeah.
That's the Team Rank 5 way.
Yes, yes, it is.
Definitely a good
Frat
time over there,
boys.
man.
Don't sign good players. Sign players that lose that you can make fun of.
So hold on, wait. Is that a self-reflection, or are you referring to Brian?
Oh no, Brian's winning lately. We unleashed the Imbolc. I'm referring to myself.
Unleash the Imbolc.
Hashtag
Like what?
Unleash the Imbolc.
I think I'm 1-5.
The
One
play
and
there,
four.
exactly. The play there is just to let Imbolc take enough losses, sacrifice a season.
Unleash the Imbolc. Sometimes you'll abbreviate Unleash the Hounds with UTH. Unleash the Imbolc is UTI. That's kind of awkward, isn't it?
That's a little
Oh.
awkward.
Yeah, that's a pretty unfortunate
Ooh.
action.
Just
All
can't
right.
get rid of it, man.
Oh,
He sticks
man.
around.
So
He's not that big a deal, but you don't want to talk about him.
Oh, God.
wow. All right, so we're definitely getting off to a certain kind of start tonight, man. Feeling the love in here. All right, so let's get right to our guest, man. I'm pumped to actually have Hertz with us tonight. I know you guys have heard me say several times. Him and I have thrown down. I believe we're 3-1 or 4-1 in his favor. I snuck one out of him way back in
Did you?
season beta. Yeah, I did. I've got one
Yeah.
series from you. I've got one
All
series
right.
from you.
All right.
And then I think that was the season we played like 2 or 3 times, and you guys, I have to stand corrected. Let the record officially show. I was wrong. Entropy has never beaten Archon Storm.
Okay, that's the one I wasn't sure. There was,
Yeah, it
at
was
some
close.
point there
It came
was-
down to a final match, and at the time we had Mr. John Wilkes with us, who decided he didn't want to play his match that week. Asshole.
Right.
It's tough to beat a PR that's that high, you know?
It is, man. It's almost like
I
they're cheating.
try.
So speaking of Archon Storm and the good times over there, what's it like, man? How does it feel to be a part of such a? I'm going to try to refrain from using the word stacked, but I think we can't deny that. That's what you guys are over there. How does it feel being a part of that?
It feels like I am not at all responsible. It feels like Bayarde is a total tryhard and does a really, really good job of scouting out every like everyone's past brings. And like, to be completely honest, especially these last few weeks, I've just been, he sends out the email at the beginning of the week that's like, if you printed it, probably 5 pages about everyone's plan. And he just, yeah, and he's like, so at the end of the day, Dan, I think you should bring blah 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 and blah. And so if anyone's surprised by my lineups, I probably am too when they change. But then as they do, he's great to, he's always down to practice, and we're really good friends in real life also.
He also makes great meme material.
Absolutely. Slap his face on anything and it's gold.
Golden.
Not by choice.
It's part of the appeal.
The meme life is the real life. You yourself, Mr. Hertz, you've had quite the season this season. Would you give most of that credit to Verde, or is there some?
I'd give the preparation credit to him for sure. I mean, I've played Hearthstone. You know, I know what I'm doing. But on stream, you guys almost saw me get reverse swept bringing that secretless mech mage, because I don't know what I'm doing with mage. But you know, the matchups were all right. And so yeah, and a lot of times, sometimes the advice that John gives me assumes that I know how to play freeze mage.
Yeah, that's a dangerous, as I've learned, that's a dangerous assumption.
That deck is so bad.
It didn't used to be.
Just don't get it.
Well, you know, one other thing I kind of want to ask you about, and it's not Hearthstone related, but something that greatly interests me is I hear you're part of a gaming project. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I can, absolutely. That gaming project, some of you might have heard of. It's called Paragon. It's a new MOBA from Epic Games, and it's a pretty big deal. And we've been working super duper hard on it. And yeah, and I feel like the hype is real for that.
Yeah, I've seen there's a trailer out there somewhere.
That trailer is so good.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I think somebody needs to give the Paragon love. If you have that link to the trailer, throw it up there in the chat, because man, whoever you guys got doing your graphics and your visuals over there, it looks beautiful.
And it's the best thing to do also is after you watch the announced trailer. Sorry, I'm looking it up now. It's almost 5 million views. Oh, man.
Wow. The hype is real. The hype is real. I'm pumped about it. I'm a MOBA whore.
So
yes, you are.
Yeah, but after you watch that trailer, go ahead and check out the gameplay first look, and you'll note above anything else that it looks about the same. And that's the insane part. The the
cinematics and the gameplay
is just, the cinematic is just all the same models, all the same engine, all the same, like the same level. Wow. It's just done with that sweet camera work.
I am pumped. I can't wait to be a part of that. Is there like a soft release date, a hard release, like a quarter? Is there like, what time of year should we be looking for this?
So early 2016, there's going to be a paid early access, which I guess is a thing. I didn't know that was a thing. But it's a PS4 and PC. And then later on in the year, once we've worked out some kinks, the idea is that just the people who are willing to hop in early, you put up that paywall just so that someone is like, I guess I'll try it, doesn't find themselves trying it before it's really not ready. Mm-hmm. for just, you know, a casual role player to try it out.
Like a filthy casual role player.
Exactly. Not a Gosu. They're
not
casual and role player. Oh man.
No, the Gosu casuals are definitely B casuals.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm pumped for it, man. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'll definitely be one of the people trying it, man. So guys, be on the lookout for that, and I'm sure
yeah, for sure. And if anyone's like super pumped about it, go ahead and you can just ping me on Facebook, I guess, and let me know, and I can see what I can do about maybe a little extra special beta access action. Or sorry, like alpha, pre-alpha. I don't want anyone to be stoked about playing a like super polished game just yet.
That's cool though, man. All right, so get at Hertz and get in on Paragon. All right, on to THL stuff. Um, week 5 just wrapping up. The playoffs are starting to come into a clearer and clearer picture. Did it go as you guys expected? What I mean, Slimch, what are your thoughts, man, on week 5?
Uh, yeah, I think it's kind of going as expected. There's not been a ton of movement. We jumped into first, but like playoff teams that were already playoff teams, supposedly they've either like danced around a little bit, shifted places, or maybe even like further cementing or distancing themselves from lower teams. So I don't know if there's too many surprises. It's very close. There's some interesting things happening between fourth and fifth teams that we'll look about a little bit. And if you look at the schedule, there's some interesting things looking forward that don't make things feel too secure here in week 5. And like big things could definitely still happen to shake things up a bit before playoffs actually happen. So
Yeah,
there's
that's
still
true.
surprises.
There's still some moves to be made. Cassie, did you see week 5 going the way it went? I mean, there were some big matchups between guys like Pure Strategy and the Harry Generals that kind of set them up to be in a place for next week. What are your thoughts?
So the really big surprise was Noob Central in red came out of nowhere. They took a very decisive win over us at Team Rank 5 and kept us locked in third in a week where we were hoping to kind of leapfrog both Energy and Gosu because they were playing each other. And Noob Central is now poised going into a matchup against those filthy casuals. If they can score a ton of points and Pure Strategy or Team Rank 5 has a really down week playing other top teams in the division and Gosu and Energy, then Noob Central can sneak in last minute again, just like they did last season, which is a really interesting storyline to watch.
And we know what a threat they can be coming down to the last few weeks and into the playoffs. So they're definitely not a team you ever want to count out.
No, definitely.
No, but that brings us to the probably like the deeper topic and the thing we really need to dive into. It is coming into week 6, right?
Mhm.
So there's a few things to be taken into consideration, and as always, the bans become an interesting a topic. I know Slims, you had brought up some thoughts on the bans. Was there anything you want to go into further talking about that?
Well, yeah, I just figured that now the website, the week 5 had it included now down where the class tallies are, there's also ban tallies, which I found really interesting. I crunched the numbers a little bit. It seems like Paladin is banned about 30% of the time, which, like, to be fair, Paladin is brought very frequently. It's the most frequently brought class, so that kind of makes a little bit of sense. But Druid and Warlock are also very frequently brought, and they are not banned nearly as often. So there's something about Paladin that is making people want to ban it a lot in their lineups.
Because it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look at, you have 9 classes, right? And
Yeah.
out of those 9 classes, Paladin represents 30% of the bans. That's a huge chunk of the ban pool.
What percentage of brings does it comprise?
That's an
because it might also be
47 people brought it, and there are, let's do the math here quick. There are 6 teams in each, so 12 times 5. So 46 out of 60 players brought Paladin. 47 out of 60 players brought Paladin.
So we're looking at 75-ish percent, right? You said
Yeah.
45 out of 60 roughly.
Yeah,
That's
even a little more.
So it'd be interesting though. These are all facts that we now have at our fingertips. Is kind of the point here, right, Slim? Because that's now posted at the bottom of the
Each week. If you
the
just
class
scroll to
selection.
the bottom. Yeah.
So for those of you who like crunching numbers and you like the data, it's just another tool for you to use in trying to predict what's going on with your opponents next week, perhaps. But week 6 is the do or die week for many folks trying to get into the playoffs. One of those teams being Pure Strategy and Noob Central, right? So we have this interesting development in the standings where Pure Strategy's only 3 points above Noob Central. I know, Cassie, you just talked about this. This is kind of a consistent theme we're seeing coming from Noob Central, these late season charges. How do you guys see this one going? Because we know that momentum is currently with Noob Central, but Pure Strategy has had some pretty strong showings throughout the season. How do you see that one playing out?
Well, what I see is that Pure Strategy, they have to play us, the Gosu Casuals. We're kind of liking this 1 seed that we've got here. We definitely don't want to be giving them any points if we can avoid it, and they really need like everything they can get at this point. So they in fourth are going up against the current 1-seeded team. Although like Gosu's Energy, Team Rank 5, we're all so close. I think they'd be worried about any of it at this point.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Noob Central down in fifth gets to go up against the Gosu or those filthy casuals who are in sixth. So Noob Central's looking to capitalize. Pure Strategy, they need to get the biggest week they can. It might be extremely difficult for them.
And those filthy casuals, they get to just play the role of spoiler here, right? Like if they
do.
win,
Yeah.
they are just like the biggest jerks ever. And like we see that in all kinds of sports all the time where one team is seemingly like counted out and they are definitely mathematically eliminated, I guess.
The 0-12 team that wins the 13th game.
Yeah, and they
The
could
guy
just
in the
like
speed
they could beat
skating
a team.
race who's so
that-
far behind that he
yeah.
doesn't get.
You would think they
caught
don't
by
have
that.
any business winning, but they could win that and then just kind of ruin Noob Central's dreams, and that would be kind of entertaining.
It would.
You know, that's kind of a mentality that I was preaching last week. You know, with thinking that Entropy was all but out of this race. We didn't get to go to the playoffs. Nobody got to go to the playoffs. But that's another interesting little situation to be looking at is as we face off against the very team whose spot we're trying to take in the Harry Generals. Now, it would need to be a landslide victory, but with a win of, I think it has to be, what, 15-5 at least?
15-5, yeah.
We could find ourselves in the playoffs and try to be the Noob Centrals of last season, this season. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There's definitely a renewed vigor in the camp once we realized, hey, we're not just trying to play spoiler to somebody's Cinderella story. We actually have a shot at getting back in this thing. And it kind of creates an interesting little dynamic going forward. So not to sit here and be biased about my own team, I'm going to let you guys speak on how you think that's going to play out. I open the floor to whoever wants to take that one and run with it.
I think Hertz
Well,
got to know something or two about Entropy.
Yeah, he might. I mean, Archon Storm and their fucking 2,000 PR.
Exactly. Yeah, that's usually what I refer to as bye week, right?
Oh my god.
Oh, the shot. That was on its mark.
Bye week.
But anyway, I like Almace against Andy Rogers. Last season, I would have said that I was favoring Andy, but he's been, I don't know if he's just been really busy or what, but he's been having a really rough season this time. And so I don't know if maybe it's time he's going to turn it around or maybe not, but I think Almace has the advantage. I don't know a lot about Markshire and Boom Boom. I think didn't Jedi miss class selections last week?
Yeah,
He did.
yeah. Let's throw that one back in his face. Way to go,
Yeah, all right.
Jedi.
Well, so
That's
he made
revenge.
it further than last week.
Oh, actually, I need to remember to submit my classes when Tavern Talk's done.
Hey, there you go.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I would have gotten to you fifth. Eric broke out of his terrible slump a couple weeks ago. He was like he'd gone a long time without a win, but then he 3-0'd. So I would not say that this is going to be a cakewalk for Entropy, but I could see them pulling out a win. I don't know that they'll win 15-5 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, to go 15-5. Just doing the math, you almost have to get the full 20, right? Or you just have to have like 3 sweeps in there because 5 points, assuming that the Harry Generals can score 1 series, that's 4 right there.
Yep.
So then you have to sweep. So you either got to like sweep all 5 matches, or every match you win has to be a sweep. So like instead of 15-5, if that happens, it'd be more like the 20 the 3 route or something crazy, which is doable, but that's tough. That's really tough.
That's especially in
That would be one of
Hearthstone.
that would be the most clutch team performance in THL to
story?
date if that
Cinderella
happened.
story.
No doubt.
Possible though. It's
It
in
is
their
possible.
hands.
And
They don't need help.
I'm sure that Almace will appreciate that vote of confidence. I know that he's coming. The kid's breathing fire this week, looking for a little comeback. And you know, to kind of speak on, not to get too sidetracked, but to speak on the Andy Rogers dilemma, I know this is something that Almace is currently going through, and I vocalized to Slimsh that's been a problem for me. Running Tavern Talk on Thursdays, and then the life I live. Usually, I have my decks for the week set by Wednesday.
hmm
I don't have a lot of time to play on Thursday, and Fridays it's happy hour after work. I usually come home and pass the hell out. Let's just be real. So when my matches come on Saturday, I haven't played the new wings that have been out. You know, I don't know what the cards do. I don't know what the new meta is kind of looking like unless I get some rounds in Saturday morning. So I know that for a few of us, it's been a trouble. It's been difficult to keep up with the meta as it's shifting from week to week with cards like Reno coming out and the various different cards that came out in LOE that actually impacted the way the THL has kind of taken the meta. So hopefully now with that kind of being in the past in the rear view and with us knowing what's in front of us come Saturday, we could see a change in these losing ways over here at Entropy. And I don't know if 15 to 5 is a taller, especially against a solid squad like the Harry Generals, but we'll see what happens. That's why we play the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So one other thing I want to ask is we got Cassie in here right now. It may not seem that important because of where they sit in the standings, but
It's a big one.
you have Team Rank 5 in Synergy. You guys are currently separated by 1 point, and you're playing for a difference in seeding in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. The winner of this could easily take over the number 1 spot, depending on how Gosu and Pure Strategies shake out. But the winner is obviously guaranteed the number 2 seed, and the higher the seed you can get, the better, I think. And we both also want to play for bragging rights because I think we've been looking forward to playing each other all season long, and it just so happens we're like right there in the standings and we're dead even. So
Yeah.
definitely an important one. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Dan or Slim Show, you guys got any input on this? Like, how do you guys? I feel biased because I hang out with Team Rank 5 a lot. How do you guys see this one playing out?
We throw the best frat parties in THL.
They do,
It's
too.
The best frat parties.
You're welcome to hang out with us anytime.
I feel like I think what Team Rank 5 who's the 1 seed this week? Is it
Yeah, right. That's the other
It is
thing.
Mage. It is Mage.
That is always the question with Team Rank 5.
because they flip-flop a little bit. I don't know. I mean, like clearly Team Rank 5's strength has been the depth in your roster. I think Imbolc and Murdoch have had really good seasons. Is that correct? And you and Mate
yeah.
have been holding it down pretty well yourselves. And
I think our 2 seed
Jesus
is
as well.
5-1 on the season.
Yeah.
And then Imbolc is now I think like 4-1 or 3-2 or something like that.
Yeah. So if you guys can, if Mage can throw down with Katoda and you can go head to head with Mickey, I feel like you guys can come out ahead. Like I don't know, just speaking overall throughout every seed, every match there, I feel like you could have the edge over Synergy. They're very top heavy on Katoda, I think. Although they are pretty well rounded. If you look at their total PR, I think they're kind of over the cap too themselves. So
Yeah, PR caps. Fucking
definitely
PR
really
caps.
strong. But Team Rank 5 with the chip on their shoulder doesn't really care too much about PR. They just kind of take you down no matter what.
You know, I've kind of found it interesting, and please don't take this as an insult. The guys at Team Rank 5, you know I love you all. But I think you guys would agree on this. I know both you and Mange have stated this. You guys don't really have a true 1 seed.
Oh no, not at all.
You
Not
know?
at all.
So it's you guys have like actually I would argue you have 4 solid 2 seats on your
Yeah,
team.
that's what I was gonna say.
You could say that. Yeah, definitely.
And
Interesting.
it's kind of been a joy to watch how you guys do handle, you know, who's in the 1 spot this week. What can we do to produce for our team? I know, Cassie, you've had a couple of like the matchups that just kind of when you see that you pull that name, you just kind of cringe. You're like, oh,
Yep.
I'll do the best I can. With
And I've
these
had a
guys.
couple of them like on the ropes and then choked at the end, and that never feels good.
It's
but-
like you're standing in front of the freight train as it's coming. You just put your arms out and you're like, All right,
and for that
hold on
split
as long as I
second, you could
can.
feel yourself maybe stopping the train, like you just morphed into an X-Men out of nowhere, and then it runs you right over.
Hey,
Rip.
hey, Slimsh. Hey, Slimsh.
Yeah.
Happy Feast of Wintervale.
Happy Feast of
Happy
Wintervale.
Feast of Wintervale.
Happy Feast of Wintervale.
Wintervale.
Uh,
That was the big one.
that was a good one. So there was one other matchup. Hold on, I'm sorry, I closed windows here. There's one other matchup I wanted to talk about that is happening over on the blue side, with Archon Storm and the Angry Chicken Fan Club.
Mhm.
Archon Storm's trying to hold on to their one spot, feeling pretty comfortable up there. They're 5 points ahead right now, but as we've seen time and time again from the Angry Chicken Fan Club, I don't know how much of this has to be with Super Sam being a part of that team, but they've been progressively getting better and better as the season's going on. Can they
I
play?
think having a professional coach on the team is gonna definitely
Yeah.
help with that.
Can't hurt.
you can't argue that it's an advantage. Do you guys think they could play spoiler to Archon Storm's? I mean, they're not going to knock Archon Storm out of the playoffs, but they can knock them off the top of the mountain. Do you guys see it happening? I mean, who's the matchup at the one spot? How's that going to play out, you know? Thoughts?
I'll stay out for a minute.
All right.
Let you guys opine.
MV Parker is extremely, extremely scary. I don't know. I'll be really interested to see how that match plays out between him and Clark Kent. And then of
It's
course you
Super
have,
Sam and Clark Kent.
Super Sam.
Oh, Super Sam. Oh God.
Yeah,
am I doing?
way to be on top of the matchup.
No, that's okay. We mentioned the idea of Supreme jumping Archon Storm, so
Yeah, it's
we
easy
did.
to understand.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I'll just go ahead and put out what I pointed out as well. So meanwhile, while Archon Storm and the Angry Chicken Fan Club go head to head, Team Supreme, who's in second, has the opportunity to go up against the Dream Team, and maybe like Supreme's extremely strong. I think they're looking to capitalize there, and maybe while Angry Chicken Fan Club and Archon Storm butt heads a little bit, Team Supreme jumps out there. But as for the Archon Storm versus Angry Chicken Fan Club matchup goes, I don't know that anyone's going to be a decisive winner in that one. I think it'll be pretty even, and that like just that alone might wind up hurting Archon Storm enough. If you look what else is happening in that conference.
Yeah, I think, and by the way, there's already a match recorded this week in that matchup. I feel as we're talking about
That's
this,
right.
it's worthy of being brought up. D.
Spoiler.
Lyman did win his matchup against Applesauce, going
Yes.
3-1, securing 4 points already in favor of Archon Storm,
Not
which
bad.
kind of points out the two other matchups. I think that if Archon really wants to lock this thing down, they must win. Would be Hertz's matchup with Monkey Warlord. And I think Clark has to beat Super Sam here. Because if you look at the way the PRs are matching up throughout the rest of the list, I played against Hendog, got a lot of respect for the guy. Definitely think that he has a strong matchup this week. But what was I saying with that? I think that Hendog will take it over Nubasaurus. Leaving the other 4 members of Archon to kind of finish this thing off for them in a decisive fashion. So, Killajive and Verde also plays out kind of interesting. You got 2 captains going up against each other, and as we know, Verde never brings anything less than his best to the table. But you can't really take credit away from Killajive. He brings some interesting decks, and I feel like he might try to come out there and throw something that he might come out southpaw and try to throw Verde off and keep him on the ropes.
He's
yeah,
also
he
been
might.
working a
He
lot
did that with
Sam.
Mange. Yeah.
Yeah, we did with. You're right, Cassie. He did pull something like that with Mange.
Oh, yeah, Patron Warrior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's known for doing it. Dan, as on the inside, how do you see it going?
I would say, as an outside viewer, I would say, oh man, Super Sam, that guy's so good. I definitely would give it to him. But Clark Kent, time and time again, just wins. That guy just wins games, man. And he and Nubasaurus are the only 2 on Archon Storm who've never hit Legend.
That's
But
incredible.
somehow he still finds a way, and whenever he's on stream, he makes amazing plays. So I honestly don't know how that's going to go. I feel like it's going to have to be 2-3.
Yeah.
But I'd lean Clark just because he's got that perfect PR, but Sam's no joke either. And then Killa and Verde, I'm actually really interested to see how that one turns out because I think Varde would probably be a little tilted if he didn't win.
Yeah, more than a
But,
little, I think.
Yeah, especially looking at that PR difference. But I think
Yes.
Kill has been working really hard, and I think he's no slouch. I do think I will win, and I don't. I'll just say that, and then
Train keeps on going.
that's right. Yeah, got to keep that. There can only be two. And then, yeah, Nubasaurus, his PR is crazy low because he never passed like rank 17 before the season started. But he's been playing a crazy amount.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's no joke. And when also the thing that's really struck me about him too is after our matches, when he sends the game by game breakdown, usually for the 5th seed, you expect kind of like played Mech Mage versus Handlock. He got Moltons. I lost, or something.
Yeah.
Some really coarse overview. But he discusses his resources and when he overextended or when he capitalized, and so he really seems to be getting a strong understanding of the game. And I'm pretty sure he's closer to getting a gold priest than I am. So,
You know,
You have
I
to change that name.
usually need for somebody to make a misplay to win a match, and I lost against Nubasaurus. So the guy apparently doesn't misplay. By the way, guys, I highly recommend you click on that link, Kill a Jive.
I know, it's so good.
Oh
good.
God, send it
It
to
is
me.
the
in
best
Skype.
meme in THL history.
Send it to me in Skype. I'm not in chat.
Oh, it's coming.
It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. I want that on the Facebook page
It's
somewhere.
been delivered. That is the
That is
Kill a
never
Jive
happened.
wins Meme of the Year. Season 1 awards, Meme of the Year, Kill a Jive. You
Yo,
can't top this.
we need to do superlatives for.
Oh my
We
gosh.
might have to.
Fucking trash.
fucking trash.
Man, Verde is going down.
Literally, in that picture.
What is it? Is this like meme 25 including Verde? Like
Oh man.
we're gonna have to start calling him like the meme masters.
Oh my god.
All right, completely sidetracked. That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
What? How did you find that picture in the first place without them, without our faces?
I've
Just
only
Google
learned so much
spanking.
about Killajive, but he is fluent in dank memes. If there, like, I don't know.
There's all sorts of things wrong with that, and there's all sorts of things right.
He-
I normally don't do this, but this is just
gosh.
the greatest thing I've seen in a long time.
He knows a thing or two about the interwebs.
He
Like,
does. Jesus.
My God.
All right, guys. Hold on. I got blasted on the stream for just a second because this is epic. I normally wouldn't do this, but this is great.
Did you bring Priest?
Ready?
I brought
Ready?
Priest.
Bam.
Yeah.
There it
You
is.
Yeah,
brought
please.
Priest for 6 weeks now.
For all those who want to see it.
Oh, he calls.
Out of control.
Oh, I only just saw the dad caption.
Oh man. All
Dad,
right.
please.
Back up to THL. Thanks. I mean, I guess
All
that
right,
is technically
we'll
THL.
talk about things now.
Yeah. Let's,
That was intense.
the meme that broke Tavern Talk. Where the hell were we? We
on
talked about
Salty Saturday
oh,
hype.
So let's Salty Saturday hype. Is that where did we say who we think will make it? Who do we think will officially be in?
Oh no, we didn't.
So real quick, you don't have to really even give a reason unless you desperately want to. But here's what I want. I'm gonna ask all three of you, so get prepared. I'm gonna stall about 30 seconds more before I put it on your guys' shoulder here. In your division only, because I know we can't speak to outside of our division with a great amount of knowledge.
Okay.
And for the viewers who don't know the teams you're on, please announce whether it's red or blue division. What 4 teams do you think are going to be the 4 teams in? If you want to say them in order, great. Or if you just want to list 4 teams that you think are making it, that could be the case as well. Who volunteers to be tribute?
I'll go first.
All right, Cassie, let's hear it.
So the red division, I play for Team Rank 5. Well, I lose on behalf of Team Rank 5. we'll say it that way. My pick is, I'm going to say, oh man, this hurts, and everybody's going to hate me, but I don't know who's watching anyway. I'm going to say Zenergy ends up number 1. I think Gosu ends up number 2. I think Team Rank 5 ends up number 3. And I think Pure Strategy barely hangs on and ends up number 4.
Okay. So that was Xergy, Casual, Gosu Casuals, Team Rank 5, and Pure Strategy from Cassidy.
So you don't see the upset coming from Noob Central.
I see the upset coming from those filthy casuals, actually.
Spoiler.
Yes.
Who wants to be next? Slim Shirt?
I'll go, since it's kind of contrary to what Cassie said, I guess, since we're in the conference now, you can go blue.
Like it. Love it.
Yeah, so I'll go in order just because it's more interesting. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Gosu Casuals remain number 1. Team Rank 5 slides up to 2nd. Xynergy's in 3rd. And Noob Central overcomes Pure Strategy into 4th.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Wow, so you have Noob Strategy sliding up into the 4th spot and making their late season run.
It's kind of implied because I said that we remain in 1st as the Gosu Casuals, so that kind of implies that Pure Strategy slides down. I'm just calling it. I'm just staying consistent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Hertz. How is our division? How's this beautiful blue side going to shake out?
I see. Who's Supreme playing?
Team Supreme
The
is
Dream Team.
The Dream Team.
Ugh, they've not been having the best season.
They have.
I'm gonna say that Supreme's gonna hold on to number 2. Archon Storm's gonna hold on to number 1. The Angry Chickens will have lost to Archon Storm, so they'll drop, and then probably Hera Generals in number 3. But that's a pretty big difference, and it could be Entropy number 4. But I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. So just to confirm, that was Archon 1, Supreme 2, Chickens remaining 3, or the Chickens slide?
Generals 3.
Generals 3,
Whoa.
Chickens 4.
Actually, that's 11 points. No, that's a lot of points. I think it'll probably stay exactly how it is.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, once again, blue side, in case you didn't know, I play for a team called Entropy. I've never mentioned that on this show before, ever. I pretty much see things staying the same way with one shift. All right. I think that Entropy is taking the 4th spot because
Entropy
I
will
believe.
rise.
I have to believe. 9 points is a lot to make up, but I think we could do it. I'm not going to mention who. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. And I don't want to put the pressure on the guys, but I think there's going to be 3 sweeps in our favor this week. So that just means that the other 2 guys can't fuck it up. We need like a 3-1 win, and the worst loss we could have is 3-2.
Now, here's the thing, Jack Sox. I don't know if you fully realize this. If Entropy secures the 4 seed, the way the playoff seeding will work,
we'll get our beautiful friends at Archon Storm, and I'm
That's
pumped
who you're playing
because
first round.
their PR, there's nothing illegal about Archon Storm's PR.
Nothing
at
illegal.
Whoa!
And I draw playoff seeds the way I draw legendaries while opening packs. Never lucky.
Hey.
Cassie, I'm waiting for your beverage to come up. I just broke 2 rules, and I see not a thing over there. You're
I got a golden legend today. Wah.
I did get a golden legend.
You didn't even
Guys, I
disenchant
got a
it.
golden show. I got a show.
You didn't disenchant that shit?
I'm going to disenchant the
No,
shit
man, you
out of
put
it
that
when I
ramp
need
through
to.
it.
You just pulled a Justicar
I
Do you
have
from a
just
classic
cars.
pack.
Wait, I thought you had all golden legends, Jack Sox.
No, I don't even have all the legends.
No, he says he has all golden legends because he has a golden Sneed's old shredder.
Right.
Which, technically speaking, if you have a golden Sneeds, you have the potential
Right.
to have every golden legend in the game.
That you do.
Technically, if you have an Ella Starseeker, you have every golden legend in the game.
No,
Once
she
again,
doesn't
true.
turn. She doesn't turn
Oh,
cards
you're right.
golden
That's
unless they're
annoying.
golden.
It's called the golden monkey. Like, if you're gonna do it, just go big, right?
No reason to craft her gold.
That's an interesting point that Jing just brought up. I could have every spell golden. I mean, so.
Ooh.
All right.
Spell slinger.
On to this awesome Salty Saturday we have lined up.
Oh yeah.
This Salty Saturday, the hype is a train's not enough to hold this. We are flying. We are on the hype plane now. We have a 4 matchup. Salty Saturday.
Yeah, we do.
I don't think
We
we've
belong,
done that
yeah.
since like Alpha. It's been a while since we've had a 4-man salty. I don't know if we ever have. Have we? Hertz, you would know this, Cassie. Aren't you guys part of that show?
Yeah, I think we had a 4 or even a 5.
I think we had a 4 once, and we said, "Oh my god, there's so much."
Too
I
much.
think the first one I did was either 4. It might have been 5, honestly, or maybe we supposed to have 5 and somebody didn't
I
show
think
up
it
or
was
something.
4, and then Clark Kent came online at like 10 p.m., so 1 a.m. Eastern, and I went to bed, but you guys were like, all right, let's do
Yeah, I
it."
think I remember that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
You guys powered through like some pros. The
Champions.
pros. So there's a lot to talk about in these matchups, and even from like the bottom of the matchups to the top, and I mean from like the lower seeds to the higher seeds, every matchup has meaning. Every matchup has implications, and I think they're all. I don't anticipate any blowouts or sweeps, which usually you think that there's gonna be one in there. Except because I'm a believer, I think Slimch is gonna sweep his opponent this week.
No
my
way.
God.
No way.
I'll share some intel
Don't
with you guys when we
patronize
get
him.
there, but
All right, so we have in our very first matchup, we have Night Smoke versus Prometheus, and this is a matchup between Night Smoke of the Dream Team and Prometheus of Supreme. Both there's like a 15 PR difference between the two, both sitting around the 280 level, coming in with respective records for both of them this season. And as we know that we're fighting for the Dream Team's trying to play the spoiler to Supreme's postseason and knock them down a notch. And Supreme's looking to make a statement and move up. Your guys' thoughts on this matchup? Anything that you're looking forward to?
I'm
played
looking forward to
Prometheus-
watching it.
and
Look-
casting it.
No, I won't be
Oh.
casting this weekend. I'll be traveling, so
Oh, it breaks my heart.
feels bad, man. Bible
bad.
thump.
Yeah. Hertz, what were you gonna say before Cassidy cut you off to tell us that he's
that
ditching us?
he's- I've played Night Smoke twice. Once back in the alpha, this is way back, and that was really, really close. He's got at least three golden heroes. But then like, I guess at some point got a real life.
Yeah, that
So
happens.
he and has since become rusty. I just 3-0'd him, which I was really surprised by. So I know he's good, but I'm not sure how much he's had time to practice Hearthstone these days. Prometheus was really good, a lot better than I was expecting. When we played each other, I think it was just a 3-2. So I'm expecting Prometheus to come out on top, but would be really pleased to see Night Smoke bring his A game.
Yeah, I know that when Entropy had the matchup with Supreme, I know that Prometheus gave Gurn Blanston all sorts of fits. I actually anticipate this match going in favor of Prometheus, but I back when I used to be a 4 seed, I've played Night Smoke a couple times myself, and I've seen kind of to your point matches where I 3-0'd him or whatever our format was that season, but I've also been 3-0'd by him. So it's almost like if you catch him on the wrong day or you're slipping, he has no problem letting you know you fucked up. That's just
Yeah, I
the
think
truth.
his biggest struggle comes from just picking the matchups and the sequencing, as opposed to proficiency with any given single deck.
Yeah, so definitely an interesting matchup to look at, and one of the more entertaining 4 seed matchups you'll see this season. I hope that they hear that and make a show of it and don't make me eat my words. But next up on the Salty Saturday matchup is Boom Boom Hall versus Markshire. I'll actually hold off to speak on this last as Markshire is on Team Entropy. And I'll let you guys add your 2 cents in here.
Oh man, well I'll never forget from season Kappa when Boom Boom Hall was the 1 seed of that team, the team that he was on, and I went up against him. He had just like way out their decks, caught me completely off guard, 3-0'd me, piece of cake. I don't know that Boom Boom Hall had the most amazing performance this season, but I think he's probably done okay. Not so sure about Markshire. I've seen Markshire a little bit here and there. I think was Markshire on the Salty Saturday last week, or maybe week before. He
may very well have been. I feel like I watch every time Entropy's on, and I don't know if I saw him this season. I think he might have been on at the end of Kappa.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm mistaken then. But I don't know. My scarred memories lead me to decide with Boom Boom Hall here. I don't see anything too crazy about their lineups. I see you guys in Entropy over there you're bringing the shamans to the table.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, team rank 5 as well, but Entropy. So Markshire's got shaman, Almays has it, Furpo. That's kind of interesting.
You guys are
Actually,
riding that hype train.
I'm more interested in what Markshire's got going now. I think Markshire's got something nasty cooked up over there. I'm going with Markshire. I think Markshire's got something really special planned.
Why do you think that?
Just
Because you're excited?
I see Shaman, I see Hunter. Or no, I don't see. Yeah, I see Hunter, I see Shaman, I see Paladin, I see aggression.
I see dead people.
I see red in Markshire's eyes. Yeah, I see dead people. Yeah.
Either of you have anything to weigh in on that? Hertz, you play in our division. So, Archon Storm has matched up against Markshire before. Anything you want to speak to in this matchup?
Do you remember how that went? Like I said, it's bye week,
It hurts. It hurts. There's few and far between. I got.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Let's look it up. What was that? That was week 4?
Oh, are you gonna rub it in?
Which one?
No. I'm honestly, I don't. Things have been busy. Entropy Markshire. Oh, Virade played him, and he beat Virade 3-1.
Wow.
So sorry, Virade, for telling everyone. All right, so he's clearly super legit. And I'm pretty sure that Virade beat Boom Boom. So I'll give it to Markshire then.
There we go. I love
Virade's
your
performance.
face right now. I just love it. I love it. I didn't want to say anything. But Markshire currently, as you look at his overall record, he's won 2 matchups, he's lost 3, but when he loses, he doesn't lose by much. He's one of those guys that if he's going to lose, it's usually 3-2. I think in time, he will eventually land as somebody's 1 seed. Mark my words now. All right. Great mind for the game. Without giving away too much, because Byron does a great deal of coaching on our side. That being Almays, for those who don't know, he has a great deal of coaching on our side. But I would say Mason, aka Markshire, his name is Mason, not Mark. Stop emailing him as Mark. I understand it's his name on here, but his name is Mason.
To be fair, that's weird when people do first and last name as their fake name, like Andy Rogers or Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Right.
Clark Kent makes more sense.
So
you call him Andy though.
He does probably more one-on-one coaching with our guys than anybody else, and the improvements he's helped people make on our team are great. I find it hard to ever pick against him, but Boom Boo Hall this season is he's 3-2. Markshire's 2-3. It's a coin flip in this one. It's a pretty even matchup. I can't say decisively in favor of Markshire, but it's definitely really hard to pick against him and Furpo when you're talking about Entropy. Which leads us to our next matchup, because I don't care about anything Cassidy has to say, because he's just Mr. Negativity over there.
Markshire's gonna win.
Attaboy.
Nice.
So rude.
Strong commentary.
He's gonna win.
We have Michael versus Matador as the third matchup in
That's
our
such a good
Salty
one.
Saturday. And I know that Michael went through much of this season as what was it, week 4 that he suffered his first loss?
It was last week.
Or last week, yeah, because
Week
he's still currently sitting at what, 4-1?
1-1.
If I'm misspeaking, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure he's.
It'd be more like a 3-1-1 since he got a DQ win one week.
Hey, in the a DQ is.
We take those though.
It's a
Hit
4
by
nothing.
pitch. He got on base.
Count it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
He took one for that week. He didn't get to play, so that's taking one for the team.
Speaking of which, just a quick PSA for Matador and Solkanar of Pure Strategy. You should submit your classes.
Yeah, definitely.
'Cause I'm looking here on the site. They are not submitted.
Uh-oh.
So I wanted to look at matchups for this one. But...
So
that'll be
you
real
have
quick.
You have Michael coming in at 4-1, and you have Matador coming in at 2-3. When you look at points scored for their team this season, you can't help but to give the edge to Michael, coming in at 17 points scored for his team this season, and Matador posting 11. I mean, there's 11's nothing to sneeze at. He's still putting points on the board even when he's losing. But I can't help but to feel that there's momentum with Michael, and despite the 50 PR difference, sometimes when a bad player is hot, and I'm not even calling him a bad player, I'm just saying a lesser player is hot, you get out of his way, man. And that's kind of the way I see this one playing out.
Right.
Who dares defy me in that stance?
No, I mean,
I'm not about to. I
Don't
think
get me.
Michael has moved up from the 4th spot, and he was outstanding there. I think I did win, but it was like by a bullshit top deck against him. He was really, really good. He might have even. I think he beat me actually.
wait, against Michael?
Yeah.
Wait, we never played.
No, me.
Or the Ghost
I
Who
played
Casual.
Michael.
Wait,
In,
Ghost Who
Turf
Casuals and
Wars?
Archon Storm played?
No, was
Yeah,
that Turf
I'm pretty
Wars?
sure he actually didn't even know the rules about changing decks, and I was
Not this
embarrassed
season.
because it was like, oh, how did he beat me?
Hold on, wait. There's Michael, and there's Mike E.
Oh God,
Oh
So-
God.
so many Michaels.
There
I don't
are
know.
there are
You
a
guys
lot
Gosu
of
and
might be
Archon
talking, I
never
can- I
played
can-
this season, so I know that.
I'll go through the past seasons real quick.
All right,
I think it was
hit up
last
that
season.
spreadsheet.
You guys keep talking.
Okay.
I'll figure it
All
out.
right, we'll keep talking about things that make sense.
All
Yeah,
right.
sure.
You want to go Cassidy before I inject my bias here?
I think that Matador is going to take this one. I think Pure Strategy is going to bring it this week because they know they need to stay alive. And Michael coming off a loss, he doesn't look so invincible anymore. And I think Matador is a really, really good player for the slot that he's in. And I see him stealing a series there.
Okay.
All right.
Slimsh, let's hear the bias. Bring it on.
Well, yeah. So I was planning a few days ago with Michael among other fine Ghost Who casuals, and we were looking at what Matador has brought to the table, and I don't know. We were feeling really, really great about what we locked Michael up with in terms of class submission and in terms of strategy to look into. I mean, it's completely unclear right now because, as I mentioned, Matador needs to submit his classes. But if anything stays remotely to what we've expected, I expect Michael to do very, very well.
Verified. Last season.
Last season.
Played. Last season, he was on Singularity. Michael 19XX.
Yeah, that would be the
All
main
right.
question.
We played. We did play, and I did win 3-2. Verified. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
No, it feels good. It feels good to be validated.
Right.
I was so
It's like, am I
confused.
crazy?
And this
Are
brings
there two
us
Michaels
to
of the Y?
this brings us to the matchup. And I'm not trying to belittle any other matchup, but you have probably two of the three top candidates for MVP
Mm-hmm.
playing in the nightcap of Salty Saturday, with the undefeated Mr. Slimsh going up against the undefeated Mr. Yuri. The hype plane is real.
Absolutely.
There is, I don't even know where to begin with this. I need somebody to help put the words out there that need to be said about this.
I'll go last.
And I need somebody to help me put words to what D Lyman just said in chat.
What's he talking about?
Don't worry about it.
no.
Let's
Don't laugh,
back up to
okay?
things that matter.
He's being serious. He's
Oh,
bearing
role
his
player
soul to
talking
us
about.
all.
All right, so Slimsh
trash
and
talking about in
Yuru
chat.
Yuri.
Fucking trash.
I guess I'll start here because we're all a little thrown off by
What
Mr.
a
D. Lyman.
nonsense.
But I just know what happened the last time Yuri faced a undefeated 500 level player.
He shit on him.
Yeah, it was
true.
a 3-0 victory in favor of Yuri.
And like 10 minutes before, we were like, is he going to make it? And he hops on and he's like, oh, sorry, I just got to make my decks real quick.
Yeah, like let me
That's
just
a
make
good
my decks
sign, isn't it?
right as
That's
I'm
how
starting.
hardcore he is.
So here's what I have to say about that. I know I was kidding earlier, but I know that a certain somebody went priest versus priest against the one and only Kibler and came out victorious.
Really? I heard someone went against the one and only Slimsh Priest versus Priest.
Yeah,
Obviously.
that's the way it
Yeah.
should be looked at.
Depending on
You're
how you
right.
look at it.
According to the pro narrative during the stream. This guy has the potential to be kind of okay. I think that's how he said it, or something to that effect. So I actually see Slimsh pulling this one out. I see Slimsh getting either a 3-1 or a 3-2 victory. I don't see him losing. I believe.
I'm with you. I think Slimsh is going to win, and he's going to lock up that MVP award that somebody nominated him to win earlier in the season.
Wow.
So if
Are
he
you giving
doesn't
yourself
win it,
kudos?
Does that mean the MVP is still
Somebody.
up for grabs?
I am right now.
Hurts.
We'll see if I get
Hurts.
to continue.
Speak up. Throw out your argument.
Oh, I'm just. I can't. Someone undefeated in the top spot is much more impressive than someone undefeated in the fourth spot. So I guess either way, someone's undefeated. So I'm out of the running anyway.
Let me ask you something, Hurts. Not to get sidetracked, Slim. I'm going to come to you for your opinion on your matchup in just a second, but I do want to throw out there that there is no single higher scoring individual for their team in our league than yourself. So while you are in the 4 spot, the definition of most valuable player is not the player that goes undefeated in this, that, or that spot. It's the player that contributes the most value to their team. All right. So you are the piloted shredder. You might not be you might not be the Dr. Boom, but you are for sure the piloted shredder that drops the Mana Storm. All right.
Thank you.
So Slimsh, what do you think, man? How do you see it playing out?
All I have to say is that Yuri has brought Druid, Priest, and Warrior all 6 weeks of the season. The last 4 weeks, he has brought Druid, Mage, Priest, and Warrior. He has gone unpunished. I looked at his history. I made my lineup full well knowing what he was going to bring, and he brought it again. So I think I'm going to be prepared for this, but I mean, you can never feel safe going up against a guy like that. But
somebody makes their decks 10 minutes ahead of time.
I did my homework. I am like, I could not have been more prepared, basically.
Proper preparation.
Do we hear this?
Poor performance.
If I lose, then
sounds like an MVP.
I think it's my own damn fault if I lose, or Yuri's just that good, which is completely fair. So it'll be very interesting, but I don't know. Like you gotta get punished for that type of pattern. There needs to be justice in this world.
Justice.
You can't bring Druid, Priest, and Warrior all 6 weeks and win.
And the Priest is always Dragon, to my knowledge. I don't think I've ever seen him play a Control Priest. So, I mean, he's even locking in on one of each archetype. Like, I think it's always mid-range Druid, and it's always Control Warrior, and it's always Dragon Priest. So,
when you got it, man.
I don't know. We'll see. It's just really interesting.
I'm pumped to see that matchup, which brings us to the conversation we've kind of been having, and something that I know it seems stupid, but I've been really hyped about since probably going into class selection in week 4, is the award of MVP for the season. You know, because I believe going into week 4, we had like 5 guys still undefeated. I think it was Hertz, Slimsh, Yuri, Grim, and Michael at that point that were still undefeated. And once again, I mean, there's an argument to be made for, I don't care if you're 4th spot or not, when you are 15-5 in reporting, you know, like, you can't deny that is a large amount of value for your team. And I think we need to get I don't know if we're going straw poll, if we're doing captain's votes. I don't know what the system is yet for the MVP vote. I know we've thrown out a few ideas for it, but I think the hype train needs to be going. If you guys have somebody you're polling for MVP, I think the Facebook group needs to blow up with who you think deserves it. And there's definitely arguments to be made for Slim. There's definitely arguments to be made for Hertz. And I know that Yuri doesn't. I mean, the guy never takes a spotlight in this league. You know, we don't see him on
profile.
True, but that's really the first time. That's really the first time we shine a light on him. For those who didn't catch it, another section of Furpo's get to know this player, whatever he's calling it, player profile. I enjoy it, man. It's great material.
Oh, yeah.
Great reading material.
That intro is so good this week.
Dude, if you haven't read it yet, definitely read it. I recommend while you're on the Oval Office, go ahead and read it there. That's probably the best place to read it. But honestly, we don't see him much in the chats. We don't see him much on the Facebook. But the guy speaks in results.
It's too busy winning it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm too busy winning to really be bothered with that. Which also brings me up to another point that I want to kind of talk about real quick, and I think it needs to be brought to the spotlight. We already talked about THL's own Slimch going up against Kibler on stream, confirmed, and winning that match. We also had Mr. NACL, also known as Salt, took on Forcing last night. I don't know. How'd that go, Slimch? You were watching.
Oh, against Forsen? Yeah, he messaged me real quick on Hearthstone. I was like, okay. I go over to Forsen's stream, and the way he captured that screenshot there, he captured a moment where I was telling him how interesting I found Forsen's music choice on his channel, because it's something else if you ever go there. You get a little bit of everything. You never know what you're going to get.
It's kind of like D Lyman show tunes.
I don't know. Yeah, D Lyman show tunes. I wonder... D Lyman has to let us know right now in chat how that Urinetown audition went. I never got to hear, actually.
Yeah, I actually made the bold statement. I'll make it again here so it could be confirmed. I told him if he got casted and it was a date that I could actually make the journey, it's not but a 45-minute train ride for me. I'll go watch.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'll go watch him.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Forsen was playing Rogue, like Oil Rogue. Salt ran him over with Aggro Shaman. I don't know. It was kind of cool.
And this is kind of a great segue into the big announcement we promised for everyone.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
We told you guys there's something big, and it's not just THL big. It's Hearthstone community as a whole big, in my opinion. And I'm going to start it off by saying the one and only Mr. Katoda, for those who have not been following along at home, made the top 16 of Tuesday night hype. He was in there with the likes of I can never say the dude's name right, so I'm just gonna butcher it. Ostkaka. He finished number 1 in this tournament, and this is the kind of players that our very own Katoda was rubbing elbows with and made it up into the top 16. These guys have an average. I think I read the statistics somewhere. If they have like 400 competitors or something like that.
About every week.
400 or 500 each week coming through. And the group that puts on Tuesday Night Hype is part of VS.
Vicious Syndicate.
Vicious Syndicate. Our one and only very hardworking and awesome Eric, known as Necro Havoc, reached out to those fellas over there and put together something that we're doing in the off season. I don't want to break the news because I always get to break the fun news. So, Slimch or Cassidy, do one of the two of you want to have the pleasure of sharing with the folks at home what we're getting into?
Sure.
Cassidy.
So Vicious Syndicate is a professional esports organization, and they put on Tuesday Night Hype, which was just covered. And what we are going to do, if you think back to the last offseason, it was like a pilot. We did the All-Star event. And we had 4 teams of 3, and we played ATLC format, and it was a lot of fun, and everybody enjoyed it. And so what Eric / Necro Havoc has set up is a show match between our THL All-Stars, and you guys are going to get to help vote for the 3 people that are going to represent us in this show match against 3 members of Vicious Syndicate's professional team, and they're going to play the best of 11 ATLC format, and we are going to watch, and it's just going to be some incredible Hearthstone, and we're going to get to have the opportunity to have, our own guys playing against legitimate pro Hearthstone players. And so you are going to be able to help us vote for that. You can even write in people. We have it down to a 6-man shortlist, I believe.
Yes.
We have 6 names that we at the board have thrown out there to kind of help guide you if you don't obsess over TeamHearthLeague.com like we do. And you can also write in anybody else you think should get in. It's going to happen in the middle of January, sometime during the off season, and the team will be managed by Mange, who, if you didn't know, he was the team captain / mastermind behind drafting the winning All-Star team. So he's going to be in charge. he'll take the 3 people we vote for, he'll get them ready, and they will go up against a pro team in the Archon Team League format.
So very exciting news. Confirmed, and I believe we're looking at mid-January dates. I know we're playing around the dates of somewhere between the 12th and the 20th. We will let you guys know for sure what that is, what we know for sure what that is. But there's going to be some dual streaming of it, as my understanding. It's going to be out there for us, guys. Our names can be put out there. It's great. It's great publicity and great growth for something that, let's face it, you guys created, we created, we know the grassroots movement that is the THL. On top of that, new news just came in today, and Cassie and Slim, I'm sorry if you didn't get the email on this. It was very last minute, 11th hour kind of stuff. But we also have in the works something between the THL and Golden Wisp.
yeah.
For those of you who do not know, our very own Alec is part of Golden Wisp. It's a podcast, successful to the point that they have representatives from Blizzard, official members of Blizzard on the podcast. We have another show match that will take place hopefully during a off-season Tavern Talk time slot between Tavern Talk personalities. So some of us will be thrown down. It probably won't be me, but I'm okay with that. And some of the guys over at Golden Wisp, and there's actually be opportunities for you guys to get involved. I will let you know more about that as we know more about that, but it is confirmed that it's in the works. It's happening. It's just figuring out when in the formatting of it. So get pumped about that. Which brings us to what's quickly become my favorite segment of the show. The Q&A brought up by you guys. Some great questions this week. We've pulled a few already from the Facebook, but feel free to throw anything out there in chat. I know that we pull, if it's worthwhile, we pull it from chat and we'll talk about it. But we'll start off with one from Mr. Necro Havoc himself, with all the fine work he did with getting this set up with Tuesday Night Hype. And he asks, I've just joined the THL mid-season and want to get in on the action next season, as this one's ending soon. What is the best way to go about doing it? Is starting my own team possible, and how do I go about doing that? So, guys, we have to put ourselves in the shoes of a free agent in the THL. I myself am a captain. I know that some people in this call have thought about the world of being a captain. You're looking at free agents. You're looking at newcomers to the league. What kind of stuff can they do to catch your eye? Who wants to start?
So I think it's super important you sign up on the Team Hearth League website, because that's where you follow everything and you read the rules and you learn everything. And then the vast majority of our community conversation takes place on our Facebook group, which is just facebook.com/Team Hearth League, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody can ask to join. We pretty much approve everyone, and then if you suck, we get rid of you, but you'll get in originally. And then you just participate and talk. And in the off season, there's a ton of free agency signings and droppings that happen. We usually have new teams come in looking for players, and if you can get in on the conversation and kind of make yourself known, you're gonna find a spot, because we need players of all skill levels on every team in order to fit into our player rating cap. So if you're brand new to the game, you can make that known and say, hey, my PR is low. If you need a low PR player, here I am. I want to learn the game. I want to get better at the game, and you'll get scooped up. And the other side
high-intensity fifth spot is like gold.
Definitely.
Gold.
And then if you're good, advertise how good you are, and somebody will pick you up, or anything in between. But if you're an active part of the community, you will find yourself a home.
Remember Super Sam, how quick he got snatched up?
Yep. Like right before the season started, too.
It's funny.
Yeah.
We didn't even know there was room for him on a team, and he was gone in like an hour.
Well, yeah, he posted, he's like, hey, guys, you guys haven't met me before, but I've got multiple top 8 legend finishes. And then, I don't know, some other
and I coach for a living.
Yeah. It was irrelevant. Like, who needs to keep reading at that point?
It's like, okay, badass.
I will say that one of the things that I've looked for as a captain looking for picking up guys is as much as it's great to find somebody that's like, hey, I'm a multiple legend player. If that's the only post I see from you over the course of a week, I think, and not to always be on their jock, but I think Team Rank 5 is an example of when you have dudes that like each other and are active and stay around one another.
Archon Storm likes each other.
On
You
good
guys got
days.
D
very.
Lyman
Do you
called you
guys
guys
really
a bunch
like
of
each other?
tryhards.
D Lineman doesn't like
Yeah,
you
well,
guys.
I mean, yeah, well, we like D Lineman when he wins.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
Ouch.
That
wow.
just happened. So it's also important. Stay active on the various different methods we have. Stay active on the Facebook. Come pop into streams when they're posted. Let people know who you are. Because honestly, I don't want somebody that's gonna post once and I never hear from again. If somebody tells me that they finished top 5 and I hear 3 times from them the next week versus the guy that said, yeah, like I hit legend every season, but he has the one post. I want somebody I know is gonna be responsive and into this league and invested. So I think that answers every aspect of that question, right?
Oh, wait, I have an
Yeah,
answer.
I want to back that up. We on Archon Storm, we've moved through a bunch of. I think the last 3 seasons, our top seed player has ended up sort of falling just because they're not that invested, and then ends up moving on, or leaving the league afterwards. So involvement is definitely the most important because you can always improve. And so if you're playing a lot, then starting at a lower PR is just to your benefit.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
in
sorry.
terms of involvement, when I was a free agent, I was able to capitalize on that in the dark days of season alpha, when substitute players were desperately needed very frequently, and there was a lot of red text week by week. So that was the way to get involved back then. But now it's really evolved to, as everyone's mentioned, being active on the Facebook page. We've got a bunch of streams now. You go up and show there, pop into people's chat, post a few Ming Lees, and people start to respect you and know you. And then suddenly maybe there's a few new captains in the next season, and they might just be a brand new captain. They may have no players straight up, and they might need some new blood. And if you're out there, if you're active, if they recognize you and know a thing or two about you, then they might grab you.
Yeah,
You got a team.
That's for sure. It definitely helps to know things about the players. The one part of that question I do want to address, because I think it's important. It's a conversation that happens a lot on the board. Is
Yeah.
if I want to start a team, is that possible? And how do we go about doing it? It's never impossible. There's not like a dead set no it can't happen rule, but what we tend to look for is people with experience within the league. Um, no, you do not have to be a legend player. I am proof of that. You just have to be somebody that understands what the THL takes, because I don't think a lot of people realize just how much work goes into it every week, especially if you're a captain, especially if you want to be a captain of a good team, which is probably why Entropy is not as good as they should be, because their captain's awful. But
God.
you can.
I told you, drinking rule next week. Anytime
Yeah.
Jack Sock self-deprecates.
We'll
should've
all be
been the
we'll all
one.
be dead. But the truth of the matter is anyone can
Drink
technically be a captain. But we do want to see a level of commitment and a level of investment within the league, because enthusiasm of a captain can either make or kill a team. I've been very fortunate to have dudes that have been with me since beta, and it feels good to know that you have that kind of loyalty and that kind of investment from your players, and a captain needs to promote that. So I'm actually going to skip the next question because we kind of talked about it, guys. The next
Delete
one
it.
comes from. You want me to read it?
Rip. No, I deleted it. Bam.
So the next one comes from Mr. Mitch. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know Mitch's in-game name.
Nade. Nade.
So there we go. Nade, aka Mitch. With the release of TGT and the introduction of Secret Paladin, many Hearthstone players were upset and claimed that Blizzard doesn't have a handle on the game, the meta, and balance. Now with LOE is out, can it be argued that Blizzard finally got it right and had presented solutions? So, do you feel like we're back into a place of balance? Do you feel like it? I guess first, do you ever feel like it was out of control? That's probably the first half of this question. Followed up with, do you feel like that has been corrected? So, two-parter there.
All you, Slimsh. You're the one
Oh.
that's legend this month.
Really?
Oh man. Well, okay, I've got the first part uh, nailed down in my mind, at least, since it's in the past, and like there's been plenty of reflection there. I don't know. I think a good amount of players were pretty disappointed with TGT overall. I think I was looking at it as it came out, and a few months passed. I was looking over like all the TGT cards, and I think I had tallied up like maybe 10 to 15, if you're generous, percentage-wise, of cards that had like a fairly significant impact. And I think leading up into TGT, people felt like the meta was so stale that what it really took was a nerf to Grim Patron Warrior to shake things up, at least in the tournament meta scene, at the very least, because people were feeling really stale about that, feeling really bored. Like the lineup centralization was crazy around Handlocked, Patron Warrior, and Druid. Two out of those three were always included in a player's lineup, at least if they were going anywhere in the tournament. So people were really bored. It felt really stale. TGT mainly like it bolstered dragon decks a bit, which I thought was really great. Like it filled in some of the patches of BRM by including, just solid dragons. Um, and then in the question is mentioned Secret Paladin, which kind of came out as the dark horse. Not everyone really thought the world of Mysterious Challenger until he came on the board, and
Until Wreckful thought he
yeah,
was
so
trolling by playing him on
thought
stream,
he
and
was
then was like,
trolling.
"Oh shit, this is
Yeah,
actually really good."
so Secret Paladin made a big wave. It continues to make a big wave. I was watching the Tuesday Night Hype the other night, and Osaka's out there. He's got a new Secret Paladin list that's crazy. I ran into him
Ooh,
on ladder with it. He's got Ragnaros in this thing now.
ooh,
Like this
goes
deck
to
is just
Google.
crazy. And when you lose to Secret Paladin, like Mysterious Challenger comes down on turn 6. If they've got a board, generally speaking, you're feeling very bad. It's a very frustrating deck to go up against. So, but for League of Explorers, it feels really good. A lot of the cards are really cool and have like impacts in ways that we've never really seen from cards. Reno Jackson, like all the legendaries, Sir Finley Murgleton, you can build decks completely differently. People are still figuring out at least Starseeker. Baron Bronzebeard's pretty cool, and then there's just all the little cards that go with it here and there that people are still trying out. People are excited about League of Explorers. It's been
That tunnel
been a good
truck,
experience.
man.
The tunnel
Yeah,
truck.
Tunnel Chalk. Hurts, you got
Chalk's
anything to say
crazy.
on this matter? You seemed like you had a shot or two to throw in there at the start.
Oh, I felt like when we were discussing people who were salty about the LOE expansion quality, and I immediately thought of Cassidy and his initial reaction.
Oh man, D
And I was
Lyman and I
just
had a
curious
lot
to
of fun
hear
in
We were-
his
Skype that
thoughts
night.
now.
We were too harsh. It
We had
turned
a
out
lot of
okay.
fun in Skype that night. No, it turned out good.
Yeah.
Brand Bronzebeard is another card that's very strong and very balanced at the same time. And Reno is super annoying and is just as cancerous as any aggro deck, but it is a balanced card and it does help balance the meta. I think we are in a really good place. Like, there is no deck in the meta right now that doesn't have a clear counter, I would say. Maybe Secret Paladin, but like things like Patron Warrior usually do well with that. And like this aggro shaman is so powerful, but conveniently loses very hard to both Reno and Paladin, in my experience. And so
Yeah, I can.
there
fall
are a
in
lot of
easy
annoying
spot
decks, but
part.
they seem to kind of balance each other out, I think.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think relative to when Face Hunter was king, the
God.
aggro shaman is way more capable of failing than
Yeah.
than the Face Hunter was back in its heyday.
So hopefully, Mitch, that kind of gives you our thoughts on it, because clearly we are the experts on the matter.
Feels good, man. Hearthstone, good game.
I actually want to hold up on the last question that's on that list right there, because I think that might take a second to talk about.
I see
Um,
you cleaned up the language in that one.
I didn't do. I guess I did actually. I did. Anything that comes from D Lyman has to be edited. I actually want to talk about something VendyClick just threw up in. I shouldn't say just. He posted about 10 minutes ago. VendyClick offered the question of how would we feel about. He called it Red versus Clue. I don't know where that came from. Maybe that's something I don't know about. Cool little name. But it was a possible show match or tournament idea of captain versus captain. And let me tell you how I feel about that, VendyClick. I would lose. So I would have a lot of fun doing it. I bring something trolly as hell, something that just made people laugh, and we're like, "What the hell is Jack's doing?" Because that's what I love to do during anytime I have the opportunity to shine. That's kind of who I am and what I do. Yeah, I know what red versus blue is. That's obviously what's from Gideon. I just don't get where clue comes from. So, anyways, do you guys think that would be something interesting to see, or do you think the disparity between the captains would create an easy win for certain people?
Hmm.
I do.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm more of an all-star game myself. I think captains distinguish themselves in the off-season and the team building process, but not every captain is the best Hearthstone players we have in the league. So
You don't
I don't
say.
know how we would balance that.
Yeah.
I think we have captains in every slot,
if they
right? Like 1 through
2v2,
5. There's
We
a
have
captain
one.
somewhere
We have
everywhere.
one that's currently in the one seat. Give that week and it'll change. The three spot is actually the most popular spot for captains, tied with the. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The 2 spot is the most popular spot for captains,
Yeah.
followed by the 3 spot, and then there's a single 1 seat in Mange. Congrats, Mange. I hope you hold that for a whole entire week.
Yeah, he's got. Last time we flopped, it was over the very next week. So we'll see how he
That's
does.
what-
So,
spot.
and then there's 1 5 seed. Oh no, sorry. There's 2 of us. Yes, Mason. Thank you for being a fellow 5 seed captain.
Nice.
There are 2 of us in the 5 seed. Good for us.
lead
I'll
from-
throw down with Mason.
Now that said,
Lead from
not
behind.
that you need to be a high rank to be a successful captain.
No, not at all.
How are those rank 5 captain teams doing?
Oh
well,
my
well,
god.
let me ask you this.
Hertz
Let me
is
ask
a
you this.
savage
Hertz,
tonight.
how many seasons?
Just questions.
How
Just
many
questions.
seasons? Here's where I'm going to respond with this. All right. How
Yeah.
many seasons, Cassidy? I don't know this. I'm genuinely asking. How many
Uh-oh.
seasons has Team Rank 5 been in the playoffs?
I don't know the answer either. I know they didn't get it there last year or
All
last
right.
season.
This is, and we're not even out yet. We still have a shot this week.
Yeah, you guys have made it every season.
So, to your point, are we doing poorly this season? Yes, but this is actually the first season in THL that we have not been in the top 3 finishing. And even
Fair.
when we made it to the playoffs, we have yet to make it any less than the semifinals. So, how are those teams with a 5 seed captain doing? I would say fucking great.
Doing just fine. Yeah. All right. All right.
So, on to the next one. I think this is actually a big topic. It opens the door to so many different things to discuss. With so many teams poised to be over the PR cap at the end of the season, which there are a few of them. I think there's 3 currently. Anyways, let me finish the question, then I'll give you the numbers. With so many teams poised to be over the PR cap at the end of the season, what will fucking happen? What will free agency look like as a fucking result? Courtesy, in case you can't tell, the question comes courtesy of the one and only D Lyman. It was actually much more vulgar than that. But it creates, because what we tend to see, and there are 1, 2, 3 teams currently over the cap, and depending on what happens with Supreme, there might be 4 teams over the cap at the end of the season.
Gosu Casuals are over by 30 points. I think it's pretty safe to say. I don't know if PR changes in the playoffs. I don't think it does.
That's it.
Yeah, it should. Like any
should.
match of player versus player represents like
Yeah,
data.
because
The idea is that you're continuously, the more data you have, the more
Yeah.
accurate it becomes.
Okay.
also I
So-
know that certain events will affect free agent PR as well. That was the thing we did.
What do you mean?
like
there-
a tournament.
Like if there's an official sanctioned tournament,
Oh, I don't think BlackRock Brawl did.
No.
No,
if you're
I don't
free,
think either
I
one
think it was
did.
exclusive to free agents.
Oh,
But
those ones.
I'm just saying we tend to keep as much data as we can on
okay.
it. So
So right now, Archon Storm's way over. They're gonna have to make changes.
Too expensive.
Clark Kent, Viriday, and D Lineman are all extremely high. D Lineman's down to like 415, but Viriday's 467 and Clark is 500. And then Hertz, as going undefeated, does have consequences.
Stressful.
He's up to
Yeah, I
390
know.
at the moment.
You
and
can
despite
easily make
having-
450. You are legendary.
Despite only having a 140 in the 5 slot, like they're way over the PR cap. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Zenergy is 9 points over the cap currently, And they have Katota at 500 and Mikey's at 450, and then Vendiclick at 410. So curious to see how that shakes out because they're a really tight knit group. I don't think they want to lose anybody, but if they win the whole
Yeah,
thing,
that's just
obviously they'll
one
have
week
to.
away from, or one bad week away from
Yeah.
being just fine for next season.
And then Gosu is 30 points over, so I think they're pretty likely they're going to need to make changes as well. And that's kind of the consequence of playing someone as high as 262 in the 5 slot, I think.
Yeah.
Quick, time to
That's
lose, boys.
Well, that's what
Time to
actually
lose,
happened
boys.
to Entropy this season. Is we couldn't pick up the players we wanted to in the off season because our PR was too high, so we tanked the
Really?
season to correct that.
Because you're like, yeah, now you're down to 1,600. You can pick up whoever you want.
But that
Go
brings
nuts,
up,
man.
I like that you said, Cassie, that Xerne's a tight knit group because I think we've seen a lot of groups throughout the THL. I mean, you become so close with the guys you play with that it's you don't want to split up the band. You know, you don't want to break up the band. But this forces you to, and honestly, it's kind of great as a captain to have this no feelings hurt sort of way to switch things up. And it forces you to experience different players and different strategies of going about building your team. There's also several people that are having life events happening in the off season, such as having kids, who we may or may not see around next season. And I think we're going to see a much different looking league next year, especially when it comes to somebody like Archon Storm, who has been so dominant for so long, finally being forced to break up.
Well, they were forced last season, too.
We were forced
but
last season.
Somehow they made enough.
Picked up
Well, they had Josh Sampson playing in their 5 slot last season. So they were
D-line.
they were
were
stacked in
also-
a different manner. Last
They
season
also
than they are
started
now.
over cap. I don't know how that slid through the cracks, but just saying. They were at 1890. But
We started at 1890. Now
Yeah.
we're only at 1910.
yeah,
No,
way to go.
you were under in the beginning.
No, they
I'm
were
pretty
under.
sure
So
everyone was under.
So
It's
this is
kinda
pretty strong
cool to-
allegations coming from Jack Fox here.
it's
Yeah,
cool
there's
to
some
sit
salt
there
being
and
thrown.
look at. Yeah, it's Archon Storm, man. Of course, I'm gonna throw salt at them. It's what I do. Have we not realized?
They were
this?
under. I'm looking at it right now. You little
I have
salt
talked
bastard.
smack. I have talked smack about them every single Tavern Talk all season long.
It's your mortal enemy.
Dude, it's
You heard it here first, folks. You cannot trust anything he says.
Make it
not
to the
when it comes to
playoffs
Archon
and punish
Storm.
them.
I will literally throw you guys in front of the bus every chance I have, whether you deserve it or not. All right. But it's kind of cool to sit here and think about who could be my teammates next season. Who could be available? Is it possible for somebody like a Dean Lyman to become available to pick up? Is it possible for somebody like a Katota to be available to come pick? I mean, you know,
I don't know about that one.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying this is not being said with any information or any insight. It's just it's cool to sit here and think about what are these teams going to do to get back under the cap, and who becomes available as somebody that I could start whispering in their ear and be like, "Yo, Entropy's a great place to land." I think there's many other teams, not just captains, but like, you know, there's many other teams out there that are thinking the same damn thing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Is there anyone you've got your eye on? Because last time it was a lot like, did D Lyman play any matches last season? He played 3.
I w-
It seems like Super Sam came out of nowhere. I mean, I think
did.
a lot of it is, or the off season when new players arrive upsets things in a way that a lot of people don't even.
Yep.
The,
Like, we
the
don't
vast
even
majority
know.
of Team Supreme came out of nowhere. They're entirely those players.
They started with 3 different 450s, and in one season they've differentiated to the point of, let me pull it up here.
MB Parker's
Hey,
489.
Eric.
Yeah,
Stop
like they
stealing
have
my
2
thunder.
people over 480 now, and then
Yeah.
one person fell down to, where did he go?
Moose 455.
Oh, he's still 455.
bad.
Okay.
There was a DQ.
Yeah.
And I was actually about to say something, and then freaking Eric steals my thunder. You know, it was a huge blow when I tried to pick up Twiz in the off season, but it put us over PR cap. And then to see that he continued to fall through the cracks and nobody grabbed him.
Wait, Twiz. Oh my God, he's not. I
Wiz
assumed he was on
voluntarily
the other-
did not play this season.
No,
he came back at the very end.
Yeah,
and
he
said,
came
"I
back
wanted-
at the
I'd
very
like to."
end and fell through the cracks. And
Yeah. It's
it,
too late.
Yeah.
Twiz, I just want you to know you are not only on Entropy's radar, but we have PR space for you this season. Just putting that out there now. No tampering. I'm doing this clearly out in the open, transparency. We're gonna have PR space. I'm a nice guy sometimes.
Mind
Um,
games.
But to your question, Hurts, yeah, dude, there's tons of guys I have my eye on, but I'm not gonna let everybody else know because I know at the same time I'm looking at this possibility. We have intelligent captains in this league. We have people that are not stupid. I mean, there is mange, but
Oh,
Whoa.
mange is
He's
my
not
boy.
even watching
Mange,
live.
by the way, the manager of the team we're sending against
Honestly,
yes.
One of the most respected Hearthstone minds, in my opinion, in the league. I had nothing but love for that guy. He's my HOTS duo partner. We take on the HOTS layers together. But we have intelligent captains out there. I'm not gonna tip my hat because I think all of us are we're sharks right now. The waters have been chummed. We know that there's gonna be 400 plus level players proven. That's the other thing too. You roll your dice with a free agent, right? Great.
Right. Especially with a brand new one, yeah.
Yeah, so I've hit legend. Cool. We've also seen people that have never hit legend
What was that
perform extremely well in this league. So just because you hit legend doesn't necessarily mean in our format you're going to do well. Playing on ladder and playing here are two different things. So I think you're taking a risk either way, and knowing that there's proven 400 plus level players out there that are going to be available, yeah, I've got my eyes on people. I would love for Slimsh to somehow find his way to entropy, but I know that will never happen. He has to have dreams and aspirations of.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be great? Slimsh, if you had, I'm gonna put you on the spot, right?
Oh God.
Let's pretend that you're a new captain. Let's just pretend that something happens and you're a new captain.
Okay.
You're looking at what could potentially be next season. You don't have to give me a player. I just want to know what team are your eyes locked on the most right now for a potential player to grab. You don't have to say the player that you're looking at, but somebody you think is going to be available that would be your number one to watch to see if he's a free agent. What team is he from?
Oh, these are scary questions.
Yeah, I'm putting him on the spot.
Oh God.
I'm gonna ask somebody else this question too. So Hertz and Cassie, you guys better be ready because I might.
I know who the top free agent is.
I'll just try to.
I'm gonna. I can see Slimsh's brains hurting. Slimsh, I'll come back to you.
I'm a simple man.
All right, let the gears turn a little bit. Cassie tends to think things through a little bit quicker than you.
Oh,
I need to grab some napkins real quick. I spilled.
Cassie.
Yeah.
The question I asked Slimsh, where are you looking?
If I can have any free agent in this offseason, the first person I'm talking to is Mr. Twiz, who has a proven track record in the league, plays very high skill level decks, like he plays Freeze Mage as well as anybody in the league, I think, and is a great dude and just wins matches. And that he would be the first person on my list if I was a brand new captain. I would be talking him into coming out of retirement to play on my team.
So let's just assume, because I know he's still staying on the fence, let's assume that he doesn't come out of retirement, right? Let's assume he teases us for a little while, and then it's like, no, I'm good. Okay. He Brett Favre's it, right? I know I came out of retirement a couple times already, guys, but I'm just kidding this time.
Okay.
Who's your next go-to?
Oh, so I'm looking at Archon Storm, and I'm looking at the Gosu Casuals as teams likely to have to make some cuts. Okay. And with Archon Storm, I think the most logical cut is to be made somewhere in the 1 through 3 slots. And since Verde's the captain, it won't be him. So I think it would be either Clark Kent or D Lineman. And I'd be leaning towards picking that person up. It could be Hertz too, but just because being 390 in the 4 slot is completely unfair.
Yeah, I'll probably just pop to the 3 spot then.
I would take whoever
we can't split up.
Yeah, you guys have like the best bromance in THL, so it would be whichever player Archon Storm has to let go. I would go after because they've proven to be a winning organization over the last couple seasons. So whoever's coming in is used to winning and would help my team a lot.
I don't know. I like the Gosus have, assuming that they would lose. Well, they wouldn't lose Jing, and they wouldn't lose Slimsh. But Michael's at 356, I feel like that could be an easy 4 spot.
Oh
Maybe it's a
yeah,
little expensive for the 4 spot, but I mean,
clearly could
that's a
play 3 if you need him to.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think he's a super strong spot. I would take him over me probably. In all honesty, just as far as like Hearthstone gusto, my matches have gone well this season, but like I would take him over me.
So Slim, I've given you time. You seem
You
to have collected yourself up there.
Yeah.
Cassidy and Hertz have weighed in.
Yeah.
Where are you at? You're a new captain. Who do you look for? If you're willing to say a name, say a name. If you're just gonna say the team they're coming from, I'll accept that as well.
Well, you're talking about current teams here, so you've limited me very much, which is why I struggled. So, I guess I'm looking to seduce Archon Storm over there. It'd probably be my move. I won't name players, but
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're looking across division. You're looking over at Arcana Storm.
yeah, I've got some seeds planted over there. I think I could make it happen.
Wow, he's already got the seeds planted.
The seeds are planted.
So the point being is there's a lot of potential moves to be made. I know it's equally exciting to watch the playoff picture develop, but also if you're one of the 4 teams that isn't making it in, you got to start looking at how do we improve and the options that are going to be put out there before you. I mean, as we covered here, there's a long shot for us to get in the season, but there's a chance for Entropy to get in the season. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited about what this off season is going to bring. Not just with the development of the rivalry or the collaboration, whichever way you want to look at it, between THL and Tuesday Night Hype and Vicious Syndicate over there, and what we're going to be doing with Golden Wisp and our collaboration with them. There's a lot to look forward to in that regards in the off season. There's also a lot of players with the potential to move around. There's the thought that there might be new teams coming in. Which with new teams it means just by the fact that there's could be potentially 10 open slots, we'll have new players in the league. It always feels good to get that new blood in. I know we've had some loyal free agents for a while now. It's gonna be interesting, guys, to see what happens with the THL over the next 5 to 8 weeks, and I'm excited, man. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah.
It feels good, man.
Being a
Feels
sports
good, yeah.
fan, I love off seasons, and so like this whole
Yeah, I
free
feel like the most
agency and
recent one.
trading and like that is so exciting to me. So I can't wait. I love getting on Facebook and seeing like 15 new posts of people looking for teams and teams looking for
man.
people and trying like in my head to match up where everybody should go in a perfect world. And so I'm really looking forward to that after Team Rank 5 wins the Season 1 championship.
Dude, I'm still so stoked about those prizes. For those of you who did not catch
Oh,
it,
man.
Jedi sent out another post with the specifics. There's options now. There's 3 different options. I believe he put them on the Facebook post, on the Facebook wall there. So if you're not a part yet of Team Hearthstone or Team Hearth League on Facebook, get on Team Hearth League. We accept pretty much everybody that applies. I might, even if we don't win this season, which
You could buy one.
dude, I have to. How could you not?
I wouldn't blame you.
I'm not gonna put Season 1 champions on there because I don't want to live a lie. But I want one. They're pretty sweet. I think I'm gonna go with the GVG back. I think that one's my favorite back as it looks on the leather. It's pretty sick, and I'm pumped about it. But guys, it's come to that sad time
It's that time.
that every Thursday night has to come to, where I have to continue drinking off stream, probably by myself.
Playing HOTS.
Playing HOTS, although Mage is not around, so I might actually be on the ladder doing some prep work because I don't want to give up on this season yet. I know we got a lot of work to do, so I'll actually probably hit the ladders and try to get some practice in. But parting thoughts for the week. Being the gentleman we are here, let's go to our guest first. Mr. Hertz, any parting thoughts, parting plugs, things you want to say to the folks at home?
Thanks to anyone who tuned in. I hope people sign up to play Paragon. Check that out. And everyone, I hope, has a really great last week. I really like that the season is shorter this time because then we get to the off-season shenanigans a lot sooner. And yeah, and so I'm excited. I feel like it's a good momentum, and I'm excited for playoffs and for what the next season brings.
Awesome. Mr. Slimsh, the party thoughts for the folks at home.
Yep. So thanks for everyone who tuned in. I don't know what the numbers are. I hope that I don't know. Like I don't have the chat open.
We peaked up at a new high for Tavern Talk this week.
Nice.
So that was appreciate everybody that came and checked it out. I actually saw a few names in the chat that I didn't recognize. And welcome to you guys. Thank you for checking us out, and I really hope you're signed up for the THL.
I'm very curious if guys from the Vicious Syndicate came over, because I went on the I was so shameless these past few days when I heard about this Vicious Syndicate stuff happening. I went to the Tuesday night hype stream, and in the middle of like the Osaka finals, I'm in the chat like shamelessly plugging Team Hearth League, telling them to tune into Tavern Talk. I did the same today when they went live. One of their casters was streaming some ladder. Yeah, I don't know. I hope some of them showed up. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for the off season, but at the same time, like eyes are on the prize, right? The current season is still here, and you gotta do everything that you can to do it. And I hope we have some really entertaining games for you guys on Salty Saturday.
Yeah, it's looking
if
to be
you can
good.
catch
Yeah, Salty
those.
Saturday should be great.
So thanks again. Tavern Talk, Thirsty Thursdays, best day of the week. Best
Absolutely.
Thursday.
Mr. Cassidy, parting thoughts for the folks at home.
Tune in to Salty Saturday on Saturday. Good, safe travels to everybody that may be going to see family or whatever over the holidays. Enjoy the holidays. Play a lot of Hearthstone. Hit Legend. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys when the playoffs roll around. I'm really excited.
Question for you, Cassidy. Is there a Team Rank Friday tomorrow?
Oh man, I want to say we had one preliminarily set up, didn't we? Like the Mason
v
off.
Mason, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the Mason v
v
Mason is
Mason.
going down tomorrow. I
Gotta
need to
happen.
dig on the page for what time we agreed to. I think I said 5 Eastern.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, Team Rank Friday. Team Rank
Team Rank
Friday.
You got it right.
At 5
That's what it's
p.m.
called.
Eastern time.
Yeah.
We're going to
what
have
it's
the
called.
Mason off. So
Nice.
yeah, tune in for that.
Sweet. Awesome. Guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate the viewership tonight. Please do go check out, if you haven't, I already saw a few guys shouting it out in the chat. Show Vicious Syndicate some love. These are, yes, we are going to throw down with them and hopefully lay the smackdown on them. But they have become our brothers in arms. Let's show them the love they're showing us. So if you got a free minute, pop it to their stream, give them some love, give them a follow. Thank you as always for tuning in. May your Friday not be as foggy as mine's going to be. I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm going to stream the struggle, but I'll probably be hitting ladder, so hit me up with the chat if you guys want to. Tune in next week. Tune in to Salty Saturday. Tune in to Team Rank Friday. Love you guys, and we are out.